Hey everybody!
Welcome to another episode of Trenny and C. I'm Trenny, this is C.
Hello.
We have a pretty exciting beginning of our, well, I guess you might be watching this in a different order, but we have three different whiskeys today.
Yes.
Sort of.
So we're going to release them in 3 different videos.
Yeah.
But we're going to release them all on the same day.
Right.
So if you're watching this video, look for the other 2 videos.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what we're talking about is the 3-pack of the NHL Alumni Series.
Nice.
I believe they're just calling it the Alumni Whisky Series, but these are ex-NHL players, retired all-stars, the cream of the crop from the NHL, and Wisers brought them in, and Dr. Don Livermore showed them the ropes, gave them all of the schooling they needed, and then they selected individually their own blend,
the whiskey that they thought was the best, that represented themselves the best. Pretty
That's
cool.
so cool. It's
very
so
cool.
cool.
Very cool. And very cool looking bottles. So first, I think what we're gonna do is open this Guy Lafleur.
That's right. The flower.
The flower, as they call him, which I think just Lafleur means the flower.
So it's not just a creative nickname?
I don't think so. But look at that cool bottle. Isn't that awesome? It's in the same style bottle as the Guderham and Worts bottles.
I got the Guderham bottle with the heavy chunk of glass on the bottom, which makes it kind of sets it down. You're not worried about this bottle falling over, or breaking or anything like that.
Well, we hope.
Yeah.
So why don't you open it up?
Okay.
But as you guys already know, we don't really have to say this because we've said it already, but it is Wisers, so it is Canadian whiskey for some Canadian hockey players.
Did we say?
Pretty cool.
Did we say? Okay, so the Lafleur is single grain, 100% corn, and it's 40% alcohol, and it is 10 years old.
Cool. It's got an age statement, which is sort of rare in Canadian whiskey.
Yeah, and so here's the cool thing, though, that I kind of realized a little bit later, was that it says bottle 3 of 6. But wait a minute, there's only 3 here. So who are the next
I wonder
3?
who the other 3 are going to be.
That's right. Here's a nice thing. Look at this. They've put this little tab here this time.
I like that.
So you can actually, like, we fuck around with the plastic on these things so much. Like, when you're trying to, you're on the spot, that's big pressure.
Oh, it's huge pressure.
Huge pressure.
It's maybe even a microcosm of the pressure that these guys felt in the big game. We're like on right now. This is the big
anxiety.
Game.
Sometimes I can't sleep at night thinking about unboxings.
Okay. Well, yeah, not me. Not me.
Yeah. Okay. We don't have any microphones.
Close,
Okay, ready? Good pop.
Oh, great pop.
Real cork.
Yes, I like
Real
that.
cork. There you go.
It's the Guy Lafleur pop,
So,
as they call it.
we are okay. One thing I gotta say is that, spoiler alert, Dr. Don Livermore himself, the whiskey genius, has actually agreed to sit down with Trenny and C in studio. We're not talking about live stream. He's coming to see us.
He's coming to us.
So, do you think he has any idea what he's
getting into? I don't know.
Like, well, on this side of the set, everything looks fine.
Yeah, it looks
great. Totally professional.
If we're looking this way, it's just a...
He's going to see the
garbage pit.
Yeah, he's going to see the garbage pit.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to walk in that door and be like, what the f*** is this?
Hey, we're
late.
Basically, like, it's like acting. You got to get into the vibe.
That's right. So he'll have to get into the vibe. Okay,
let's remove our Trenny and C challenge coins, which you can order by going to trennyandc@gmail.com. No, I got that wrong.
You can't.
No,
you got to go to PayPal.com. And then the recipient of the $13 is trennyandc@gmail.com.
I always get that wrong.
Yeah. Most of the time, I just kind of let you do it.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
Put the real information at the bottom of the screen.
He doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, should we... I guess we should drink the whiskey before we start talking about Guy Lafleur's stats.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So we really should be letting this open up a little bit more, but these videos are kind of like quick hitter videos.
Well, maybe we should talk about stats a little then.
Yeah, sure. Actually, let me pull out my stat machine here, my supercomputer in my pocket.
I'm sure.
And
well, then I'm pulling out mine.
Guy Lafleur.
Right.
He was 6 foot tall.
Okay.
And 185 pounds.
Nice and trim. Lean and trim.
Yeah. Born September 20th, 1951.
Okay.
In Thurso, Quebec, Canada.
Okay.
Right-handed.
Yeah.
He was drafted first round and first pick in 1971 for the Montreal Canadiens.
Let's get into the interesting stats here.
You get to the other stuff.
There's any stats. In 1,126 games, 560 goals, 793 assists, 1,353 points. That's over a point a game.
That's amazing.
Over 500 goals. And he had 6 seasons of 50 goals or more in a row.
Whoa.
Guy's a stud.
No kidding.
Oh, and least of all, he won 5 Stanley Cups.
Holy.
Cripes.
Holy cripe-a-doodle.
Okay.
So now this one of the reasons we're actually trying this one first is because this one is 100% corn.
Yeah.
The
and
other
it's 40%.
ones here, and it's 40% alcohol, so it's kind of a lighter, sweeter flavors. The other ones, we'll talk about those in a little bit, but let's get right into it.
So one thing I will say is that this is the worst tasting note that we have, and we always use it when we're doing anything Wiser's. It's very Wisery.
Yeah.
Like, it is...
It does have a Wisery smell.
But what it does have is a... and when we say Wisery, like, this is the corn Wisery smell. Like, you can smell that corn whiskey.
It's corn, but there is a slight...
There's a richness to it.
Like pepper... Rich. There's definitely a richness.
It's like
definitely a sweetness, but not overbearingly sweet on the nose.
No, but a bit of like that molasses kind of sweetness.
Mm-hmm. Definitely some brown sugars and things like that.
But like some bit of that kind of burnt toffee thing kind of going on.
Yeah, there's definitely like a definite burnt kind of a flavor to it overall on the nose.
And that could be,
which is kind of nice. Like, I like that about Wiser's.
I mean, 10 years in the barrel too could get a little
bit.
Could get a little charry.
Yeah. Okay. Let's have a little sip here.
So this is kind of like a first tasting, but I'm not sure we're gonna do full reviews on these because we're gonna sit down with Dr. Don and talk about them too.
For sure.
This might be just kind of our first tasting / review.
I also just want to mention this is actually our first whiskey of the night.
Yeah.
So first impressions, first whiskey of the night. Sometimes
I can play games with you.
It can play games with your heart.
Anyway, the nose is good.
Okay, let's do it.
Very nice. Okay.
It's like almost rum-like in a way.
That's really nice.
Soft arrival, big time.
Sweet arrival though.
Sweet, soft, like caramels, toffees.
You know what? I often say, like, I'm not a huge fan of 100% corn. Like, it needs something to kind of set it off. This one's pretty good though.
It is. It's almost like, I think the age works well with the corn on this one. And it, like I said on the nose, it has like a slight pepperiness to it, which is kind of a good thing when it's such a corn-dominant spirit.
But it does have a late bit of kind of a sizzle and a little bit of spiciness kind of at the end there. Like the finish is a little bit hotter.
It is a little bit hotter. And for 40%, that's kind of interesting. But it's definitely, so far, I mean, first impression, the first couple sips, it's well-rounded. It's got a heavier, denser kind of syrupiness to it. It's a bit of a chew.
Yeah, no, I'm enjoying this. Slight bitterness on the finish, just a little bit.
Yeah, almost a little metallic.
Yeah, there's something kind of like zingy on the back of my tongue.
Good. Also, again, first whiskey of the day. I'm gonna actually just have a sip of water to kind of see how that goes.
Okay.
Sometimes instead of putting water in your whiskey, it almost like coats your tongue with the water, and it helps out a little bit. The nose is really, like, it's growing already. There's a
and like we did, you know, we did only spend about a minute talking about stats.
Yeah.
Thankfully, you went over everything from his blood type to
to his like
to his height,
his chiseledness, angle on his jawline.
Ah, no, I like it.
So far, so good.
Now, I don't know exactly the price on each of these bottles, and the reason for that is that Dr. Don was nice enough. This is the first time. Yes. This is the first time ever a distillery sent us anything.
Yeah, that's true. We gotta give ourselves a pat on the back for that because we
getting a freebie.
We don't get free, like every video we put out hundreds.
Yeah.
Has been our money spent. You know, so it's nice to finally get a little bit of something. But having said that, we're gonna be honest about these whiskeys.
Well, why not? I
mean,
like
we are Wiser's fans in general, so
yeah.
they don't do too many.
They can't go too far wrong by us anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But we're not going to just suck up to them because we got a freebie.
But for what it's worth, if, you know, it's good to tell the people that you got it as a freebie so that they can know if they're worried, like, nah, you know, maybe I'm not going to trust somebody that got something for free. That's fair enough.
But you make a good point. We don't know the exact price point on these right now.
No, because Dr. Don's team sent us all 3 bottles because they are only available regionally.
Yeah.
So
so
it's very hard to get your hands on the whole collection. So he's coming into town for the Whiskey Fest, and he's sitting down with us the night before that. So
awesome.
Crazy. Yeah. Well, we probably should wrap this up here because we got 2 more of these things to get into.
Love it. All right. Well,
all said and done, pretty enjoyable whiskey.
So far, so good. I like it. So thank you for joining us. We're Training to See.
If you can find this, probably worth picking up.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for joining us again. Click like, subscribe. We'll chat with you guys soon.
Cheersy.
Cheers.
Drinking whiskey, describing all the flavors for you and me. Irish, Scotch, bourbon, and rye. If they like a bottle, they'll tell you why. Subscribe on YouTube.